Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Oh, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
सीताराम जय लक्ष्मण हनुमान सीताराम जय लक्ष्मण हनुमान जय सीताराम जय लक्ष्मण हनुमान सीताराम जय लक्ष्मण हनुमान जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय श्रील प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव निताई गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल निताई गौर हरि बोल निताई गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल निताई गौर हरि बोल निताई गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल निताई गौर हरि बोल निताई गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल निताई गौर हरि बोल निताई गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल निताई गौर हरि बोल ताई गौर हरि बोल गौर हरि बोल
श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन जी भगवान की जय सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की जय श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन जी भगवान की जय गौर निताय भगवान की जय गौर ब्रह्मानंदे हरि हरि बोल
भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा मदन मोहन राधे जय राधा मदन मोहन राधे जय सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान सीताराम जय लक्ष्मण हनुमान जय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद निताय गौर हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल 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 नमस्ते नर सिंहाय नमस्ते नर सिंहाय प्रह्लाददायिने हिरण्य काशीपूर्वक्षः शिलटङ्कानखालये इतो नृसिंहो परतो नृसिंहो यतो यतो यामि ततो नृसिंहो बाहिर्नृसिंहो हृदये नृसिंहो नृसिंहमदिं शरणां प्रपदे नरसिंहम् तव करकमलवरे नखाम् अद्भुतशृङ्गां दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गम् केशवधृता नरहरिरूप जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे केशवधृता नरहरिरूप जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद विघ्न विनाशक नृसिंह भगवान की, प्रहलाद महाराज की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So welcome everyone for our Sunday program. So let me start with thanking today's sponsors. Today's main sponsor we have is from Vishal, Gauchan, and Bhagyasri Tamrakar sponsoring for Liam Gauchan's first grain ceremony, Anna Prasan. So can you please come up? Okay. Thank you. Let's take picture. They got married here many years ago. How many years ago? 5 years ago. Okay, that's. Thank you very much, Haribol. So next we have Shivani Bagel sponsoring for her birthday. Happy birthday, Shivani. Can you please come up? Haribol. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Haribol. So next we have Mandira Sreshta sponsoring for husband Vishwambar Sreshta. So happy birthday, Vishwambar ji. Please come up. Haribol. Happy birthday. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Asta. Thank you. So the next we have in the memories, we like to request everyone please chant Mahamantra for 3 times. We have Himangshu and Archana Srivastav in memory of Krishna Srivastav. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Yamangshudi, if you can come up. Hare Krishna. So the next we have P. Chandra Chudamani in memory of P. Parvati. So like to chant Mahamantra for 3 times. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Chudamani ji, if you are here. The next we have Ram Kumar Kashyap in memory of his sister-in-law Shyama Sundar Sarma. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. कश्यप जी आइए, तुम पास में जाओ. एमी माता जी. Okay. Okay. Can everyone see the screen? Okay, so today, today's program we have chanting kirtan usually happens after the program here. We move to 2 o'clock because we're going to have a class by His Grace Chaitanya Charan Prabhu here at the temple. Yeah, right here. So the kirtan will be starting at 2 o'clock. Okay, and Hindi class means not Hindi speaking class, but pravachan in Hindi will be downstairs by Sham Krishna Prabhu. And connect. What is that? Oh. Okay, and we have a Bhakti Lounge program down in the same place, our old, next to the bathroom where my office used to be. So there, and then what do we have there? Mantra meditation is right below us. Okay, there is a sign there that says mantra meditation. Yeah, and that's all. Mahamantra Prabhu's mantra meditation will be also downstairs, right? Okay, that's good. I'm giving a Chaitanya Charan Prabhu is here. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Is Sachi Prabhu here from New Vrindavan and his wife downstairs? Mataji is here. Can you please stand up? So we like to welcome our newly moved in devotees at the temple. So family, Sachi Prabhu and Mataji and 2 kids, they'll be helping us with a lot of catering, hopefully restaurant and so on. Let's welcome them with a big round of applause. Hari Bol. Thank you. And we also like to welcome Gauravani Prabhu. Hari Bol, welcome. I just saw him singing he was singing and Soni Nigam was sitting next to him, following him. So that was good achievement. Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you all for coming today. Am I audible to everyone today? So, I'll speak today based on the Bhagavad Gita on the topic of spiritual growth. So, I'll answer 3 questions. I'll be writing something and drawing something over here. So, what do we mean by spiritual growth? Why would anyone pursue spiritual growth? And how can we pursue spiritual growth? Nowadays, the word spirituality is used very widely. And often it is used to mean anything that makes us feel good. Oh, I went to that mountain trek. It felt so spiritual. Or I went to this place. It felt so spiritual. So we often associate spirituality with anything which makes us feel calm, good, peaceful. Yeah, that's one aspect to it. But we will speak about this based on the Bhagavad Gita, that spiritual growth can be explained in a simple way through one diagram. So, everything that I speak today will be centered on this one diagram. See, normally, when we go through life, for us, there is the world. And the world is very big. And God, even if He exists, He is small. So when I started my spiritual journey about 30 years ago, when I came to know about the Bhagavad Gita's wisdom, I started sharing it with everyone. And one of my uncles told me, yeah, I believe in God. He's happy there, I'm happy here. So the idea is, God doesn't feel very important or relevant for us. The world is very important. World means that, okay, what kind of job I have, how is the weather today, do people respect me or not, or how many people are following me on social media. So the world is very big. Now this bigness is in terms of not just the size, but we think the world matters a lot for me. The world will determine how much happiness I get in my life, and the world will determine how much distress I get in my life. So it's big, not just in physical terms, but in psychological terms, in terms of how much it matters to us. But if this is the path of spiritual growth, as we grow spiritually, what happens is, the world becomes small and God becomes big for us. That what happens in the world matters, but our relationship with God, that matters even more. So, Vasudevah Sarvam Iti. This is the basic journey talked about in the Gita from 7.16 to 7.19. At 7.16, Krishna says different reasons people may come to him. But in 7.19 he says, Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyate Vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sudurlabha. That's a person who understands God is the supreme reality. Krishna is what matters most in my life. Such a person is very rare. So for the person whom the spiritual matters more than the material, the source of the world matters more than the world, that person is a spiritually advanced person. Now, when we say God becomes bigger and the world becomes smaller, why would somebody do that? In one sense, we see the world in front of us, and yes, I can eat this, I can watch this, I can buy this, I can wear these things are tangible. So in one way to understand this is, the world refers to the externals, that is things. And God is inside us. So we all want to improve the quality of the things inside, outside. But God is the one who can most enrich the quality of our thoughts. Now, we may have the best things in the world, but one of the things most lacking in today's world is peace of mind. People, oh, my mind is so restless, mind is so agitated. Because we are so caught in improving the externals, that what effect it is having on our internals, we are not that concerned also, what to speak of being aware of it. So, God can enrich us with wonderful things externally. But when God becomes big, that means our thoughts become enriched, our thoughts become elevated. So, broadly, this is spiritual growth. Spiritual growth means the invisible reality, the reality of our thoughts, their quality, and the direction of those thoughts going towards God, Krishna, that becomes the most important thing for us. So now, I said I'll answer these three questions. What? I'll keep some time for question answers also. So what is spiritual growth? God becomes bigger than the world for us. Now, why may somebody pursue spiritual growth? Broadly, there are two reasons. Generally, most of us, if we consider this is the world over here, so most people are caught in the world. No, I want to become famous, I want to become wealthy, I want to become powerful, I want to become popular. And if God is above us, when will our vision turn from the world to God? There are broadly two reasons. The first reason is when we think, I am not good enough for the world. I am not good enough for the world. That means, oh, I have this problem and I can't solve this. Or I have this desire, I can't fulfill it. And maybe someone is up there that God will help me. When I was in India, I was staying in Pune. In the ashram where I was staying, the temple was right next to a school. And we realized that April and May seemed to be the month of students' devotion. That the students would not come throughout the year, but in April and May they would start coming. Why is that? Exams. Oh, I'm not really prepared well enough for the exam, but somehow God helped me. So when we face problems in life which we feel we can't solve, that is the time, this is where we feel I am inadequate, I'm insufficient. The world is big, the world is troublesome, and I need some resources beyond myself to help in facing the world. So in the Christian tradition, there is that prayer, O Father, thou art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, give us our daily bread. The idea is that at a time when there was scarcity, where there was shortage, so people were not sure whether they would get bread. And then we go to God for getting something which we feel we cannot get on our own. Nowadays, most people, especially in the Western world, are not really worried about bread. They may be worried about butter for their bread, but bread is so, that particular prayer may not resonate. So God is not so much seen nowadays as a cosmic supplier, as a cosmic therapist. We go to God, but I am not good enough to control the world, to get things right. I don't have peace of mind. So you go to God to get peace of mind. But basically at this point, I am not good enough for the world. And so Krishna talks about this as people who are distressed and people who are desirous. Chaturvidha bhajante mam jana sukrutino arjuna arto jigyasur artharthi. So distress means, oh, I have this trouble, I cannot deal with it. Desire is, I want to get this, but I'm not able to get it. So please, oh God, help me. So yesterday was Hanuman Jayanti. A few months ago, I was in India, in Varanasi, and I was going for a talk, and I saw there's a small Hanuman temple on the side of the road, and on top of that Hanuman temple, it was written, I was quite amazed by that prayer. It's in Hindi. I'll say it in Hindi first, then I'll speak in English. Tum to ho bal brahmachari, mujhe de do ek nari. You are a celibate from birth, please give me a woman. So it is, you're praying to God, but what we are praying is, okay, I cannot get something on my own, oh God, please help me to get it. So this is where I am not good enough for the world. Now this was also, in some ways, my introduction to spirituality. Many of you noticed when I came in, I need crutches for walking. So when I was one, my mother took me to a polio clinic, to the hospital, to get a polio vaccine. But somehow, we were living in a small town in India, and the fridge in which the vaccine had been kept had a power outage the previous night. And the caregivers didn't notice that. So because of that, when that vaccine was given to me, the germs had increased because of the increased temperature. And the vaccine, instead of preventing polio, ended up causing polio to me. So now, I don't remember that. But my first memory of that was I was about 2.5 or 3. And a distant relative had come to meet us, and she was consoling my mother. It's so sad, your son got polio. And I remember my mother's voice, very calm, clear, confident. She said, whatever he lacks physically, God will provide him intellectually. Now, I don't know why she said that, But somehow they stayed with me. And I found that yes, yeah, it is. As I grew up, I couldn't play outdoor games like other kids could. I could say this was unfair. I didn't do anything to deserve this physical disability. But then as I started studying, I could read things fast, I could remember things quickly, I could articulate things well. So some part of me told me from inside that, yeah, I didn't do anything to deserve this intellectual ability either. So life is unfair, but in the big picture, life is fairly unfair. Fairly unfair means sometimes we get more than what we deserve, and sometimes we get less than what we deserve. So basically, when we pray to God, sometimes our prayers may be answered, sometimes they may not be answered. But at this level, we go to God because I have problems and I feel I can't solve them on my own. And so this is where I am not good enough for the world. Now now in this case what happens, even when we approach God, the interest is not in God. The interest is in the world. So basically God is like the means and the world is the ends for us. So if God fulfills our prayers, thank you God, bye-bye. And if God doesn't fulfill, what is the use? I'm not going to come here again. So at this level, it's good that we are starting a relationship with God. But this is not a very steady relationship. And most of the religions in this world, they operate at this level. So here God is a tool to get the things that we want. But God is happy that at least we are connecting with Him for that reason. And we're connecting with Him that, even if you're in trouble, like a child who has become young and has gone away from the parents, child gets in a lot of trouble and finally comes to the parents. Can you help me? Are the parents going to say, you remembered only when you needed some help from us? No, the parents are going to say, if you're in so much trouble, why didn't you come earlier to us? Or the parents are going to be happy that the child connected with them. So similarly, Krishna says the word udaraha. Udaraha means, you're charitable, you are so good that you are connecting with me. And Ramanujarya in his commentary here explains that normally, if there is a charity, there is a giver of charity and there is a receiver of charity. So normally, we would consider the giver to be charitable. But here, it is we who are going to God. And Krishna says, if we go to God, Krishna says, it is we who are charitable. So how, when we are receiving charity, why would Krishna consider that charitable? Because Krishna is so eager that we have a relationship with Him. Like the parents are so eager to have a relationship with the child, even if you need money from us, at least stay in touch with us. So that is Krishna's love for us, that He wants us to be in touch. So even when we are the receiver, Krishna says, you are so kind, you are so charitable. Udara sarvaiva evaite sarva evaite. So he says that in 7.18 in the Bhagavad Gita, that even if you come to me for any reason, that is good. So why might somebody consider, going back to the starting diagram, so when we are not able to fulfill our desires, at that time we may consider, the world is big, but maybe there is somebody bigger who can control the world and who can make things happen that I can't make them happen. So at that time, God becomes bigger than us. Now the other dynamic, there's another reason why people may turn towards God. That is, if the world is here in front of us, and God is above us. The first reason is that I am not good enough for the world. The other is the world is not good enough for me. Now, the world is not good enough for me can seem very egoistic, but this is not a matter of ego. It's a matter of realization. Realization that the world promises many things, but it doesn't deliver on those promises. Even when our desires and dreams are fulfilled, still they fall short of our expectation. They don't live up to the promise. So that's when a person starts thinking, maybe there is something more in life. I want to be happy always. But nothing in this world really provides lasting happiness. Maybe there is something beyond this world. This is the fourth category which Krishna calls as Jnani. Among the categories of people who come to him, he says in 7:16 that those who have got the knowledge to understand the insubstantiality of the world, that what the world offers is not enough. And then that is the time they turn towards God. Okay, I can get fame, I can get power, I can get wealth, I can get lots of things. But all of us, to some extent, have had some of our desires fulfilled. Nobody can say all their desires have been fulfilled. But it takes a sharp intelligence and, of course, some divine mercy to recognize this one truth, that fulfillment of desires does not equate with fulfillment of heart. If one can get this particular realization, it's one of the strongest stimulations for spiritual growth. We all have many desires that drive us. I want a bigger house. I want more designer clothes. I want more followers on social media. We have many different kinds of desires. I want to be the CEO of my company. Yes. Now these desires may drive us, and yes, we can all have desires and can pursue them. But when we start thinking that the fulfillment of these desires will make me happy, in reality we find, yes, it makes us happy, but not for very long. For a little bit the happiness is there, and after that it just disappears. So the whole world's propaganda is, okay, fulfill this desire and fulfill that desire and fulfill that next desire. Most people will say that's the nature of life. You fulfill one desire and then you move to the next desire. You move to the next desire. But fulfilling every desire is hard work. And how long are we going to keep walking on this treadmill of desires, trying to fulfill it? And when will we actually get fulfillment? So what the Gita's message is about, it is fulfillment of desires is largely associated with getting things, improving the quality of things that we have. But that does not fulfill the heart. So you could say over here it is that we approach God as a shock absorber. Shock absorber means that life gives us a lot of shocks, and life does not fulfill our desire, life hands us unwanted trouble. And then we turn to God like, oh, I want to soften the shock of life. But at this particular point, when the world is not good enough for us, this is where God becomes a goal transformer for us. It is at this point, we don't turn towards God to turn back towards the world. No, this is not the way. We turn towards God because we are interested in God. So this is the state of being jnani, of being wise, of being enlightened. When I was studying my engineering, since my childhood, I always had the desire to be number one in my class. And India is a country where there's a lot of academic pressure for performance. And I was very good at my studies. There were many times when I was joined number one. There's one year when I came number one in my class, but somehow my teacher did a wrong assessment and another student came number one. Then when I looked through the answer paper, I saw that actually she had given me a wrong answer for an answer that was correct. I told her that, and she said, yeah, it's true. Actually, you are the first. But she said, this is my first year in the school, and if a teacher makes a mistake, it's a problem. But if the mistake is very visible, who comes first in class? He said, it will be very embarrassing for me. Can you let it go? One part of it, I didn't want to let it go. I want to be first. But I talked with my mother. My mother said, if she's requesting you, she's your teacher. You should listen to her. So I let it go, but a part of me was still craving. I want to be the first in my class. Unambiguous, this undistinct number one. So then I studied engineering. At that time, I gave the GRE exam for coming to America. And since my childhood, I loved English and English words, so I was very good at vocabulary. Often Indians, when they give GRE, they're always good at maths and analytics, but language they struggle. So when I gave GRE, I came first not just in my college, it was the first in the history of my college. I was first in the entire state of Maharashtra. There's several millions of people and students also. So I was on top of the world, Yahoo kind of thing. But then, when the mark sheet came by post, at that time we didn't have emails, so I was very happy. But after 5 minutes, I realized that looking at the mark sheet doesn't give much happiness. And then, if the congratulations started pouring in, I became a celebrity in my college. And everybody was congratulating me, and I was very happy. But then, somehow it happened that 3 of my friends, you could say acquaintances, not very close friends, but 3 of people whom I thought were friends, they all forgot to congratulate me. And now, when the first person forgot to congratulate me, at that time I was annoyed. When the second person forgot to congratulate me, I was irritated. When the third person forgot to congratulate me, I was enraged. What is going on? And I didn't want to sound pathetic by asking them, why are you not congratulating me? It would sound so needy. So I was wondering what to do, and somehow, it was at that time, I felt as if I had an out-of-body experience. Not literally, but almost conceptually. I felt as if I was looking down at myself from above. And that part of me which was looking down at me from above, it said, hey, wait a minute. You thought coming number 1 will make you happy. But instead of making you happy, it has only made you more dependent for your happiness on others. Isn't it? That in the past you could just hang out with your friends, but now you are becoming so needy for their appreciation, congratulation, felicitation. So I looked ahead in my life. I thought whatever I plan to achieve, I might come to America, I might get to an Ivy League university, I might write some award-winning papers, whatever, I might do some discoveries or make some inventions, whatever I thought would be success, I realized that all of it would still keep me dependent on this external validation, appreciation. And I started wondering, is this really what life is meant for? Is this what will bring me happiness? That's when, fortunately, a friend gave me the Bhagavad Gita. I read the Gita in my childhood, but it's only as a book of official piety, to memorize some verses, to please my parents, to win some Gita Shloka recitation contests. But here I poured over it as a book of wisdom. And then I found a verse, 6:22 in the Bhagavad Gita. Yam labdhva cha param labham manyate nadhikam tataha yasmin sthito na dukkhena gurunapi vichalyate. Says that, and that state, this is talking about the state of spiritual growth. What I talked about here, God becomes big. It says at that stage, what happens? We become free from all external dependency. See, external dependency, when the world is very big for us, then what happens? 2 things. We are always craving for something more. Whatever I have, I crave for something more that somebody doesn't have. And then we are also lamenting for what we have lost or what we may lose. So it says that in this stage, when Krishna becomes the biggest reality for us, when we become absorbed in Krishna, at that time, there will be no more craving. Things will go, there will always be things which we don't have in life, but there will be no more craving for those things. And even then things will go wrong in our life. But that won't disturb us so much. Why? Because our consciousness will be directed somewhere higher. That's when I felt this is what I want to achieve in my life. And that's what I've been trying to do for the last 30 years. I'm still on the journey. But essentially, what happens when we come to this stage of where the world becomes smaller and Krishna becomes bigger for us, as compared to when the world is big and Krishna is small. So what happens? Two things. So this topic I'm discussing is, why do we seek spiritual advancement? So when the world is big, then what happens? The world always has ups and downs. And those ups and downs also affect us. We'll always be unsteady. In fact, for some people, the world's ups and downs affect them even more. Like when good things happen, they go way up. When bad things happen, they go way down. Like when good things happen, they almost become manic in their energy. They feel as if I can shake the whole world. And when something bad happens, they go so down that it seems the whole world can't shake them out of their bed also. So it is, psychologically, this is often called as the manic depressive personality. At one time they have huge energy, positive, completely no energy at the other time. So when the world is very big for us, the world's ups and downs, they become very turbulent for us. And then we can't be steady. We can't be counted on because we become very temperamental and moody. So when the world becomes small for us, the world becomes small and the world's ups and downs also become small for us. So basically, when the world becomes small, then what happens? If the world is small for us, we become materially or externally peaceful. So we become steady, we become calm. This is what is very much lacking in today's world is the peace of mind. We may achieve a lot of things in life, but the peace of mind is lacking because many reasons, but one of them is the world has become very big for us, and anything going wrong in the world feels like the end of the world for us. Especially now with the political upheavals that are happening. If we are too obsessed with the world, too fixated with the news, we'll be in a constant stage of not just restlessness, but turbulence. So now the world is important, no doubt. But it is not the most important thing. Why? Because ups and downs keep happening. If we look at our own life, we look at say 5 years ago, 10 years ago, if we really remember, we could think, there's some problem troubling us at that time and we thought, if this doesn't work, it's going to be the end of my life. And we survived that. So yes, life is tough, life has its ups and downs, but the world doesn't have to be so big. Now, the problem is why people want the world to be big is because many people think the world is the only source of happiness. If the world becomes small, then they feel that the source of happiness will also become small. Isn't it? But the thing is, the world is not the only source of happiness. When God becomes big for us, then we access happiness in our remembrance of God, in our relationship with God. Sukhataram aparam na jatu jane, haricharana smaranamrutena tulyam. In the Mukundmala Stotra, which is composed by Kulashekar Maharaj, he says that he has been a king, a very powerful and prosperous king. He probably had luxuries and comforts and pleasures that most of us can only dream about. And yet he's saying that among all the pleasures that I've enjoyed in my life, there is no pleasure that comes anywhere as close as the pleasure of remembering my Lord. Haricharana smaranamrutena tulyam. So what happens is, we become materially peaceful, but we become spiritually or internally joyful. So this is the state of spiritual growth. Materially peaceful, spiritually joyful. Externally, life will have ups and downs, but they will come and go. External things, they don't matter that much. Now it is not that we neglect the world. Here the world also matters to us. But here for us, the world is the means. And Krishna is the ends for us. That means that, yes, if I can get a bigger house, I could have a bigger altar in my home, I could have spiritual programs. If I have a bigger position, I can do more service. So the world is important, but it's not the most important thing. If it works, well and good. If it doesn't work, it's not the end of the world. So why grow spiritually? For these two reasons. I talk about that. Why? Because that is what will actually make us peaceful externally amid life's ups and downs. And that's what will give us a joy, give us access to a joy that does not depend on external things. That is through our remembrance of the Lord, through our love for the Lord. Then I talk about the last part, then I'll conclude. We have a few questions. Is how. So how do we grow spiritually? So I talk about spiritual growth means that the world starts becoming smaller and God starts becoming bigger. And how do we do that? That's basically by two things. Krishna talks about this in 6.35 in the Bhagavad Gita. The way to spiritual growth is through abhyas and vairagya. Now these two words can be understood in many different ways. But I'll explain this in a simple psychological way over here. That abhyas means persistence. We keep doing something. Vairagya means abstinence. So, what does persistence and abstinence means? That if we expose our mind to God, then just that repeated exposure will make God bigger in our mind. If we keep coming to temple regularly, if we keep hearing about Krishna regularly. So, by hearing that, we'll understand Krishna's glory, we'll understand throughout history, or the history of humanity, how God has protected people, how God has enriched people's lives. We come in the association of spiritually minded people, we will see that that's not just a historical truth, it's a truth that is happening even today. So persistence in exposure to God. So just coming in holy association, coming to temple, chanting the names of Krishna, by this exposure, God will start becoming for us, bigger for us. And abstinence means abstinence, again, persistence in exposure, and abstinence in exposure to the world. Now we cannot function in the world with closed eyes. But there are many things which just keep agitating us. If somebody is constantly scrolling on social media, oh, this happened over here, that happened over here, that happened over there. It just keeps us restless. So abstinence doesn't mean no exposure. It just means we minimize the exposure. The more we expose ourselves to the world, the more the world starts becoming bigger and bigger. Nowadays, with social media and breaking news, anything that happens anywhere in the world, it just becomes so constantly there in our mind. And sometimes we are more concerned about, say, what is happening in Serbia than what is happening in our spouse's life. We become completely disconnected. I saw one cartoon where one man was telling his friend, yesterday my broadband Wi-Fi went down. So I spent some time with my family. They seem to be nice people. So, abstinence. No need to expose ourselves unnecessarily. This doesn't mean we be ignorant or oblivious, but there's no need to expose ourselves constantly. And how do we bring about persistence? Persistence is best brought about by bonds. Bonds means make a commitment. I'll come every week to the temple. Or every day, I'll put some time aside for my sadhana, for my puja, for my chanting. And abstinence is established through boundaries. So, bonds and boundaries. Boundaries means, I'm not going to spend, say, more than 15 minutes on social media. Or if I had to watch TV, I'm not going to spend hours watching TV, okay, for some time. Whatever it is that agitates our mind, infatuates our mind with the world, set some boundaries for it. Bonds and boundaries are very simple and powerful ways by which we can actually grow spiritually. When Srila Prabhupada started the Krishna consciousness movement, he gave us bonds and boundaries. The bonds at the time of initiation are chant Hare Krishna. And we chant a prescribed number of rounds. And the boundaries are the things which agitate and addict the mind to the world. Gambling, intoxication, unrestricted sexuality, those kind of things, we minimize our exposure to that. So I'll conclude with a diagram which can be a checklist for us. If we feel that we are not growing spiritually, we can see for us, there are bonds and there are boundaries. So now if there are no bonds and no boundaries, then spiritual growth will be impossible. If I'm never coming to the temple, I'm never exposing myself to Krishna at all, and I'm unrestrictedly exposing myself to the world, then there is no chance for spiritual advancement. We are not giving ourselves a chance at all. Now, if there are bonds but no boundaries, that means, yes, I am practicing spirituality. I do my sadhana, I do my japa, I do my puja. But after that is done, it's like you turn into a completely different person only. And then people, after their ritual is over, like they're as materialistic or more materialistic than anyone else. Then what happens is, it's like the bonds are lighting the spiritual fire, and then the no boundaries is extinguishing the fire. So what will happen is, we will not grow much. On the other hand, if there are only boundaries but no bonds, that means, we told you, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. Then what will happen is, if there is no, it's like, okay, don't expose yourself to the world. But we all need happiness. We all need some higher sense of purpose and progress. When that is not there, then there'll just be suffocation. The bonds are there, we are exposing ourselves to Krishna, but what is happening? The bonds are not there, the boundaries are there. Don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. Many people who grow up in a traditional culture, if they just get the rules from the traditional culture, but the purpose of the rules is not told to them. And then it becomes, this is so suffocating. There is an atheist gag against Christianity, and that can apply to any religion. In the Bible it says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God. So what this atheist gag is that, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was no. The word was no. Means what? No, you can't do this, you can't do this, you should not do this, you should not do this. So Srila Prabhupada once told some of the devotees who were doing youth outreach, he said, if you present Krishna consciousness to young people as just a set of rules and regulations, he says, you are doing a great disservice to them. That it's not about rules, it's about a relationship. Now, every relationship has some rules, naturally. But the rules don't feel suffocating if the relationship is important for us. So, when we focus on that point of having a relationship with Krishna, then when we have bonds and we have boundaries, Krishna is important for me. So it's not that I won't do this and I don't want to spend too much time on TV, I don't want to spend too much time on this, I don't want to spend too much time on that. It's not that. There is something else I want to spend time on. This is what is much more important for me. So this, if we have bonds and boundaries, actually we will be flourishing and we will be relishing. We'll be flourishing spiritually and we will be relishing spiritual growth. This is the stage which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu calls as Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam Pratipadam Puramrita Swadanam. It said we get entrance into an ocean of happiness and every moment becomes increasingly joyful. Life will still have ups and downs, and yes, life is tough, but we will have an inner shelter, an inner source of satisfaction. And that happens when we embrace both the bonds and the boundaries. That's how spiritual growth becomes dramatically transformational for us. So I'll summarize. I discussed about the topic of spiritual growth today, and broadly 3 points. The first question was, what is spiritual growth? So we had this diagram that initially for us, the God is small and the world is big. But as we grow spiritually, the world becomes small and God becomes big for us. So essentially, God in this case, we could say God is the enricher of our thoughts. So our inner world becomes bigger for us. And the world is basically associated with things. So what kind of things we have, they become not that important. The second part was, why? Why would anyone seek spiritual growth? So I talked about why in terms of 2 aspects, the causes and the effects. So why would somebody seek spiritual growth? The causes are twofold. One is as a shock absorber, that I am not good enough for the world. So if I am here, the world is here, and God is above. So when would somebody turn towards God? that I am not good enough for the world. That, oh, I have this problem, I have that problem, I can't deal with it, so maybe God will help me to deal with it. And the second is as a goal transformer. That here, the world is not good enough for me. That I have achieved many of my desires. But here, I understand that fulfillment of desires does not lead to fulfillment of heart. And therefore, we turn towards something higher. We turn towards God. And when this happens, what is the result of spiritual growth? Broadly, when we grow spiritually, as God becomes bigger and the world becomes smaller, then what happens? The world's ups and downs also become small for us. So we become materially peaceful. So this is in terms of this was the causes. Now the effects of spiritual growth is that we become materially peaceful, and as our connection with God increases, then we become spiritually or internally joyful. And then how do we go about doing this? It is by the two principles of, so this was 7.16 to 19. This is the journey that Krishna talks about in the Bhagavad Gita. Then I talk about this in terms of 6.22 in the Gita. And the last was 6.35. So how do we grow spiritually? How? There are two parts over there. One is the persistence. We keep ourselves exposing ourselves to God. We keep singing Krishna's Kirtan, keep coming for darshan, keep doing puja. And there is abstinence. So we abstain from exposing ourselves excessively to the world. So persistence is what we can do through establishing bonds, making commitments, and we can have abstinence by establishing boundaries for ourselves. And if we do this, for every one of us, the world will become smaller and God will become bigger. That doesn't mean we reject the world. Here, the world, at this stage initially for us, God is the means and the world is the ends. But here the world becomes the means and God becomes the end. We still care for the world, but not more than God. And each one of us can check. If we don't seem to be growing, then what is the reason for that? We discussed these four quadrants, that if there are no bonds and no boundaries, then spiritual growth is impossible. If there are bonds but no boundaries, then spiritual growth becomes unnecessarily difficult, because we are lighting the fire and dousing the fire. If there are only boundaries and no bonds, it feels suffocating. Why can't I do all these things? But then here, if there are bonds and boundaries, in our spirituality we start flourishing, and then we start relishing our spirituality. This is where the Bhagavad Gita can take each one of us in our spiritual journey, where all of us can experience inner happiness. We can become peaceful with respect to the ups and downs of the world, and we can become joyful in our relationship with Krishna. So let us pray to Krishna. My dear Lord, please help me to grow on the path of spirituality and come closer to you and find joy in you and be more peaceful with the ups and downs of life. Shri Krishna Bhagavan ki jai. Thank you very much. Do we have a few minutes for questions? Or questions we have? Okay. Does anyone have any questions? Okay. Do we have a mic for that? Okay. Before the mic comes to you. So much of what I spoke today is from this latest book of mine, Gita for the CEO. As HarperCollins asked me to write this, because many people are interested in Eastern wisdom and how that can help us to grow in spiritual life or in our professional life. So I presented the Gita as a conversation between two corporate leaders. And there are many simple diagrams like the kind which I drew to explain the concepts. So this is one book. Then there's another book here called Prayers Inspired by Bhagavad Gita, that I talked about making God bigger for us. So this book is a very easy way in which we can just have some simple meditations. Each book has a picture of Krishna, then a small prayer, then a verse from the Gita, and it's poetically rendered, and there's a small prayer reflection. So like that, there are 122 prayers from the Bhagavad Gita. And whatever our prayer needs might be, you can look at the table of contents and find It's a very easy book if you want to do your daily chanting, you want to calm your mind devotionally, that can be helpful. And this is a small book, Living with the Ramayana. Yesterday was Hanuman Jayanti. So if anyone wants to know about how living the Ramayana, how the Ramayan's wisdom is applicable in today's world, that's also available. So any questions? You have the mic? Yes, please. Okay, sorry. Yeah, fine. Yeah, sure.
How do we grow sadhana?
How do we
Grow sadhana.
grow
Our sadhana.
grow our sadhana? Yes. I think the way is twofold. First is that each one of us is to find out that what are the activities that give me an experience that God is bigger than this world. So the point of sadhana is not just to meet a particular target or to follow a particular rule. It is to get an experience of God. So think of which activities actually give us that experience. Maybe it is when we come front of the deities and pray. Maybe when we are in kirtan. Maybe when we go to a holy place. So cherish those activities. Try to do those activities more. Remember those activities. Write down those memories. So we all need that some experience that there is a reality beyond the reality that I experience on a daily basis. And then with that, as our motivation, that experience, that glimpse of a higher reality, that will be the spur for us. What I experience once, I can experience more. I want to experience more. And the second thing is, so personal experience, second is association. Try to, whichever limb of sadhana we want to strengthen, try to see who are the devotees who are taking that more seriously. Try to spend more time with them, try to associate with them. And with their association, we'll also get the inspiration to become more serious about sadhana. Okay? Yes, please. Okay. So yeah, correct. So if you're feeling guilty, I would say there are two things. That guilt can be a good thing if it inspires us to avoid doing things which are wrong. But sometimes what happens is we may just not have the capacity to do something. Say a particular standard, maybe just we don't have the schedule, we don't have that particular level of spirituality. So if I consider I am here, and here is Krishna on one side. And here is some temptation, some wrong action. Now guilt should come here in between me and the wrong action. So this guilt is healthy. So when I am doing something wrong, inside me I feel bad, I should not do this. But sometimes what happens is guilt ends up over here. So when this is actually pseudo guilt. If something is pseudo means false. If anything is discouraging us from connecting with Krishna, we say this is Maya. I'm not going to feel bad about this. I'm going to do what I can in my capacity to connect with Krishna. And maybe that standard is not possible for us right now. That standard will come later. So what can I do right now? Let me do that and let me take a step forward upward from that. So when we move that way, we'll find that guilt will be something which we can deal with. In general, consulting with some devotees, some guides, some friends will also help us understand whether we are actually sliding down and we have to stop ourselves from that, or whether we are in our situation being too hard on ourselves. So whether our guilt is actual guilt or pseudo guilt, through our own introspection of its effect on us and through association, talking with somebody who is trustworthy and taking their guidance, we can respond to it properly. Yeah, so which boundaries we can apply at our particular level. The boundaries are not fixed. So some devotees can say Ekadashi, they can fast without water. But some devotees may not be able to. They shouldn't have to feel guilty for that. But that doesn't mean we have to eat 7 times a day. Isn't it? So we all can have a boundary that works for us, and gradually we can extend those boundaries or strengthen those boundaries. Thank you. One last question? Yeah.
Krishna asserts that you should detach yourself from the fruits of your labor, correct? Right? But you corroborate that by saying when you are at the best of your spiritual growth, your world happiness is like this, and your spiritual happiness is like this. But can't you argue that you should have your positives be happy, kind of like a boost, but then the negatives you ignore, so that instead of your happiness being like this, it's kind of like this. So what's wrong with that idea?
Yeah. What's wrong with that idea is that it's psychologically not possible. That if I love cricket and when India wins, I'm extremely happy. India loses, I'm detached from cricket. It won't happen like that. To the extent I take joy when India wins, to that extent I'll be frustrated when India loses. So, if the world is all that we have in our eyes, then to the extent we get joy in the positives, to that extent there will be pain in the negatives. That's just the nature of duality. But your point is well taken. There is validity in that point.
Thank you.
So the way the point is to be applied is by having a higher vision. So when Krishna says be detached from the fruits of the work, detached is not apathetic. Detached is not irresponsible. Now the same Krishna, if you see in 247, that's the verse says karmanneva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Here Krishna is saying be detached. But just 6 verses earlier, 241 he says vyavasayatmika buddhi ekeha kurunandana. He says be one pointed. Don't have too many goals. Don't get caught in too many things. So now how can we be both one pointed and detached? So the key is, it is be detached from results. Be one pointed in goals. Now what is the difference between goals and results? Goals and results are not the same thing. Goals are what we set before we do an activity. Results are what we get after we do the activity. So before we do an activity, we should have a clear goal. And that's how wholeheartedly we will be able to work for it. But what we understand is that the results don't come solely because of my efforts. There are many factors beyond my effort that shape the results. And sometimes those factors will work in my favor, sometimes they may not work in my favor. So it's detachment is not lack of commitment. Detachment is recognition that there is a bigger reality. So the way we can have in the positives we are happy, in the negatives we don't become unhappy is if we are not attached to the results, but we are attached to Krishna. Krishna, I want to offer you the best in the world. So I would like to get the best so that I can offer it to you. But if it does not work, still I will offer my heart to you. So that way, with the positives we can be happy, with the negatives, we won't get that disrupted by it. Okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki. Nitai Gaur Premanande.
There is one more type of guilt which I used to get for the Shuddhi, like you need to wash your hands like this and legs like this, face, and then, I think I keep like many guilty thoughts which are coming in between the prema bhakti for Krishna.
So I would say that don't let the rituals and your inability to follow rituals affect you so much.
Okay.
Focus on the point that ultimately Krishna is Bhavagrahi.
Bhavagrahi.
Bhavagrahi means he looks at the heart.
Heart, not
want
the,
to offer our heart.
not
And
the,
now rituals also have their value, like various kind of shuddhi. But the important thing is to connect with Krishna. And sometimes some people can get so caught in the rituals that because of that they don't connect with Krishna and they become judgmental towards everyone rather than follow the rituals.
Okay. So mainly like focus on do's rather than don'ts, right?
You also
Is
need
that
to,
good?
that's true, but what I would say is that even among don'ts, don't take all don'ts to be the same. So for example, if we are not able to wash our hands particularly in a particular way before doing a particular prevent, that's one thing. Somebody says, I'll eat meat. I'll eat meat.
That's
a completely
not,
different thing. So even among them, there's a gradation.
Yeah.
So there are some don'ts which are important,
Yeah.
but some don'ts are not that important. So try to get a sense of perspective.
Boundaries on that.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Good to see you again.
So lovely to see you. Hey, a year ago I ordered the two two-part book.
Okay.
And it's supposed to come. I waited like 1 year, I never got it. Do you have the other part, the two-part? Ramaya, your
Oh,
book.
you
and-
ordered it last time?
Yeah, and Madhava was going to give me the double set, and he gave it to someone else. Doesn't matter. I still love him, people who sponsored you. But I'm waiting now. It's time for me. I'm ready to go. Two parts, not just one.
You had this one already?
No, I don't have it, either one.
So this one I'll give you.
This is
The second part of the book. The first part of the Ramayana I'll give it to you. I'll have it sent to you. We're shipping some more books here.
I
Is that okay?
love you.
Thank
so,
you.
Your soul. Your soul. I love your soul.
Thank you so much.
So brilliant. My name is Karen with the C, or Krishna Priya. It's my nickname.
Krishna Priya. Karen. That's your nickname. What a nice nickname.
Mr. Sherman gave it to me. And you know, Radha Satyanandana Swami, right? You know this,
Yeah,
this
yeah,
Swami?
yeah.
He's a friend of Krishna Das, and Krishna Das loves him and said, you should be with this man, but I should also be with you. Just
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
So brilliant. That karma. All night I'm thinking about you. Chasing all night. Can't stop it. Can't stop it. Got mad.
Really, I feel like it just gave a lot of healing and relief for you.
My family's dead. This is Passover. They gave me COVID in the hospital. This is blood clots all over and I will die early. Krishna's saving me. Although I have micro blood clots. They're going to have a clump and that's it. Go online, you'll see all the deaths, micro blood clots from the Chinese Communist government. So I have them all over. Didn't die, full-time hot. I didn't want to sue the hospital because the nurses' aides weren't wearing masks in open heart surgery. In the ICU when I woke up, no mask, 2020. The nurses' aides.
Life is quite adventurous, huh? Okay.
Prabhu, how do I get the other
Ramayana.
the other part?
I'll just take Prem Sindhu Prabhu. You know Prem Sindhu?
Oh, Prema?
Prem Sindhu. I'll tell him about you. He will give you the copy to you. He's outside. I'll tell
Okay.
him.
And I want to buy this one too. I need another
The
$10.
prayers one?
Yes, I think I should have that.
Okay. It's outside there. I'll just give it to you if you want.
The thing is
Yes, I would talk with others also.
we need you to come back so soon.
I would love to come soon.
When will you come back again? Just tell me. A year?
Krishna's mercy. I'll try to come earlier. I would love to come earlier.
You're very important to this temple.
Krishna, Krishna.
You have a long line, so I can't tell you everything, but I'd love to tell you something else. I think you'd be a great help. Getting more Americans here.
Take care. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. How are you?
Very nice. Temple.
Yeah, with diagrams it helps.